Okay, everyone, I'm going to ask you to stand, and we're going to be playing both anthems. O Canada, followed by the French anthem.
We pray first for peace. We pray that our waste of wraths and sorrows may be put aside, and we have peace among nations, peace in our homes, and peace in our hearts. We also commend to our gracious carekeeping all the men and women of our armed forces and other countries' armed forces at home and abroad. We ask you to defend them day by day with your grace. Strengthen them in their trials and temptations. Give them courage to face the perils which beset them. And grant them a sense of peace wherever they may be. And we pray for our veterans. We remember before you those who laid down their lives for freedom and truth. We commend their souls into your gracious keeping and pray that we may be worthy of their sacrifice. Help us to be faithful and true to those ideals for which they fought and died. May we continue to perpetuate the memory of our departed comrades by our service to country, community, and comrades, and remembering our solemn obligation. May we ever pray, Lord God of hosts, be with us yet, lest we forget. Lest we forget.
Please be seated. Please be seated. Okay, welcome to this very special presentation with the country of France decorating and thanking one of our Canadian military veterans for liberating their country on D-Day, June 6, 1944. Comrade Lloyd Tibbatts aged 97, served with the Canadian Army during World War II from April the 13th, 1943 to March 30th, 1946. He enlisted and served with the Winnipeg Rifles and then transferred to the Regina Rifles with the Canadian Infantry while in France in July of 1944. Lloyd participated in Operation Overlord, landing at 7:45 a.m. on the 6th of June, 1944. He served in the liberation of France, Belgium, Holland, and Germany. And Lloyd has been nominated for the French National Order of the Legion of Honor for his involvement in the landings at Normandy, France on June the 6th, 1944. Following his honorable discharge from the Canadian Infantry in 1946, Lloyd returned to his home at Foxhorn, Manitoba, where he continued his farming career, and I understand he was also involved in building some major grain elevators. Lloyd married Frances Calder on October the 17th, 1985, and she has since passed. Comrade Lloyd Tibbatts has been a loyal and dedicated member of the Royal Canadian Legion for 71 years, having joined in 1950. During his 71 years of service to the Royal Canadian Legion, he has served at the Foxhorn branch, and then he transferred to Russell when he moved to Russell. Comrade Lloyd Tibbatts currently resides at the Russell and District Personal Care Home at Russell, and each year he is very excited to attend the annual Russell and District Remembrance Day service. Just recently, he received his World War II medals, which he's proudly wearing, and he now can add another Medal of Honor to his collection. Thank you, Lloyd Tibbatts, for a remarkable life. Now I'd like to call on Comrade Nick Bevington of our Gladstone Legion to introduce our French Consul, Sir Bruno Burnichon.
Thank you, Comrade President Al, Comrade Lloyd, head table guests, ladies and gentlemen. I have a bio of Bruno here, which should be put in the book because it is so good. Bruno was nominated as Honorary Consul of France in Winnipeg, November 2009. But this veteran businessman has long been involved in international affairs and France-Canada relationships. Bruno's background is quite original, as you will hear. He left France in March 1967 to study in Saskatchewan, at a time when only a few French citizens went abroad. After working with the Ford Motor Company in Ontario for 2 years, he arrived in Winnipeg in 1974, and he was hired by the versatile manufacturer to lead the international development of this historically significant Canadian company, which he did successfully. Through his work, he visited well over 100 countries, yet he kept exploring Canada by pursuing public relations studies at Simon Fraser University in Vancouver, as well as international business development studies at York University in Toronto. A fine and experienced negotiator, he was trusted with the position of International Vice President of New Flyer Industries, being based in Winnipeg from 1989 to 1995. The prestigious company's buses can be found in all major cities in North America. He kept traveling abroad, visiting, among others, the factories in Prague, Riyadh, and Mexico City. He is known and recognized for his expertise, and so the Ministry of International Trade asked him to participate as an expert in negotiations leading to the North American Free Trade Agreement, that is Canada, US, and Mexico. We ought to underline two other key elements of his rich and diverse background. He was always very actively involved with the French communities, and he always been committed to working towards stronger relationships between France and Manitoba. His role will allow him to continue to serve these two objectives that are truly essential as Honorary Consul of France in Winnipeg. He is the natural link between the French Consulate in Toronto and the French citizens of Manitoba. The self-starter who makes himself available, he will be committed to all initiatives undertaken to promote France in Manitoba and to develop strong relationships between France and Manitoba, a province that a truly remarkable with a truly dynamic economy. A great many other things are of interest to him, such as the French gourmet food and products, which he promotes in Canada, even Latin America, through BK Corporation, the company he created in 1986. Bruno is a member of the Canadian Colony Federation and member of the American Society of Agricultural Engineers, and a past member of the Garro Club of America and of the board of directors of the Alliance Francais in Winnipeg. Last but not least, his generosity was acknowledged by the prestigious Paris Firefighter Corps. He was made honorary firefighter with the city of Paris for helping several firefighters participate in the New York Marathon. Everybody will acknowledge he is a dynamic industrialist. His human qualities are equally well known and appreciated. His personality is defined by bond and friendship and remains faithful to his country of origin. Also in 2017, I had the privilege of attending a function with Bruno and his wife Karen when they received the Legion Medals of Honor. It was a great recognition for both of them. Will you please welcome Mr. Bruno Burnichon.
Well, thank you very much, Nick, for this kind introduction. This is not my day, this is Mr. Tibbatts' day. But anyway, bonjour à toutes et à tous. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to acknowledge, first of all, Mr. Lloyd Tibbatts, the recipient of the Honoraire Medal today. Émérite, sister-in-law of Mr. Tibbatts, Jim Chapman. I have to look in the order here. Mayor Cheryl Kingdom Chartier. I've had the pleasure to meet her. I know that's Chartier, but it's okay. RCMD member Mark Acurin, I hope I got the pronunciation. The Regional Rifle Regiment Military, Mr. Al Marshall and his wife, and Mr. Jack Whitcomb and wife Florence. First of all, I would like to mention that last week my wife and I, we were in Ottawa. We met with the Grand Chancellor who came from France. He's the Grand Chancellor of the Legion of Honor and the Order of France. And being on the board of directors of the Legion of Honor, we were honored to attend the meetings in Ottawa. And the Grand Chancellor and 5-star General, Mr. Bruno asked me to convey to Mr. Tibbatts on behalf of the French Legion of Honor a sincere congratulations and a sincere thanks. Also present during the meeting was our godmother. She is a commander of the Legion of Honor, and she is between Paris and Toronto, going back and forth, and she also conveyed her sincere thanks and congratulations to Mr. Tibbatts. So I will go forward. First of all, I'd like to once again thank Nick Bennington for putting this event together with Mr. Marshall and other members of the Legion here. Nick has been so great over the years of helping me out. He is a go-getter. He tries everything to be down the path and down the proper way. Nick, I can't thank you enough for your help. It's great. Thank you. So, honored guests, members of the family, and of course, dear friends present here today, and all the veterans that we have and members of the forces. Today, I'm going to do it from here, I'll see better. Today is a notable day for everyone here, but especially for one special gentleman who in a few minutes will officially be made Knight of the French National Order of the Legion of Honor. It is a real honor for me to have the opportunity to present this prestigious award to Mr. Lloyd Tibbatts, acknowledging his participation of the D-Day landing in Normandy, France. Approximately 8 years ago, our then Premier, the Honorable Greg Salinger, traveled to Normandy and was greeted by the President of France at the time, Mr. François Hollande. It was to commemorate the anniversary of D-Day. The Honorable Premier Brian Ballister did the same in 2019 and was greeted by our today President, Mr. Emmanuel Macron. Prior to that visit, the French government has decided to bestow the medal to the brave veterans from Canada who were on site during the D-Day operation and landing. A number of Canadian Armed Forces members have been awarded the Legion of Honor Medal. By the end of this undertaking, approximately 1,800 Canadian veterans will have and will be received this prestigious medal. Incidentally, I'd like to mention this program is still going on and will go on forever until we don't find any more candidates. So if any of you know someone, please do not hesitate to contact either Nick or the Veterans Affairs in Ottawa, and we will be pleased to produce more medals for these great Canadian soldiers. To the best of our knowledge, there are more Canadian D-Day veterans living in Canada. But what is happening now is part of a truly unprecedented 8-year process. This undertaking requires a lot of human resources, both in France and Canada. It would not have been possible without the outstanding support of the Canadian Ministry of Veterans Affairs. Let me specify that the President of France, Mr. François Hollande, at the beginning of the program, and now Mr. Emmanuel Macron, the now President of France, have signed each and every one of the decree for each Canadian recipient. The Legion of Honor was created in May of 1802 by Napoleon Bonaparte. It is the highest honor awarded by the French Republic. This honor is in recognition of outstanding achievement made while in service to the French Republic or other civilian or military capacity. This distinction illustrates the profound gratitude that France would like to express to Mr. Lloyd Clifford Tibbatts in recognition of your determination, your courage, and professional contribution to the liberation of France, my country of birth. Through you, France remembered the sacrifice of all your compatriots who came to help liberate France, often losing their lives during the fierce battles. More than 50,000 unfortunately did not come home from D-Day. On a more personal note, I sincerely feel that if we are gathered here today, it is because of these brave soldiers and all of his comrades that freed my country, France, from the terror and tyranny. They have demonstrated and accomplished an unsurpassable act of extreme bravery. Your accomplishment, Mr. Tibbatt, during the Second World War was a vibrant reminder of the profound and historic friendship that binds France and Canada. This creates a very special relationship between our two countries. The people of France have never and will never forget the act of bravery shown by the Canadian forces during the Normandy landing to help restore freedom. I can only think one single word to say to you, Mr. Tibbatt. Merci. You are to France a true hero. It's always emotional. Yeah, even the Grand Chancellor last week said, it shows me too. You have the very great honor. No, I have the very great honor of awarding to you this decoration, the highest medal awarded by France. Please accept on behalf of the citizens of France, the President of France, Mr. Emmanuel Macron, and all other citizens, please accept on behalf of France my sincere thanks, gratitude, and congratulations. Now, as per the protocol, I will make the presentation in French first, and then in English. So if Mr. Tibbatt could come between the flags here. Monsieur Lloyd Tibbatts, Lloyd Clifford Tibbatts, I should say, au nom du président de la République française, Monsieur Emmanuel Macron, et en vertu des pouvoirs qui me sont conférés, nous vous faisons chevalier de la Légion d'honneur. In the name of the President of the Republic of France, Mr. Emmanuel Macron, and by virtue of the authorities conveyed to me, I declare you, Sir Lloyd Clifford Tibbatt, Knight of the Legion of Honor. Congratulations. On an outside note, in regards to the great winds in Normandy, when they landed, a lot of them that I have decorated in Manitoba. Mr. Tibbatts is number 39. One of them in Verdun came after the ceremony and came to me. He said, I don't remember much French. There's one thing I do remember when we were there. We would ask, do you have any French eggs? Fresh eggs and some Calvados. Calvados is the equivalent of the moonshine in Europe. So they were quite happy to drink that stuff. Just a little reminder, I mentioned it earlier to Mr. Tibbatts, so this is the great. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much. Again, congratulations.
I think you're too fast. While Lloyd is sitting here, I'm going to ask Jean Chapman, his sister-in-law, to come forward and say a few words. Jean, can you do that, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd just like to say a few words on Lloyd's behalf. He would like to thank everyone for being here today. I know some of you have come from quite a distance. He would also like to thank Honorary Consul of France, Bruno Burnichon, for being here today and making this presentation to Lloyd. It is very much appreciated. Merci beaucoup. We'd also like to thank Nick Beaverton and the Legion here and Earl Smith for organizing this event. Lloyd said the other day he was proud to have served his country. He also said he was very happy to have survived and was able to return home. Lloyd may not forget or remember what he had for lunch the other day, but I'm quite sure he's going to remember this day. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you so much, Jean. That was so well said. Merci beaucoup. I like that. Okay, so I'm just going to go on with a few more of our veterans. So we have two more veterans here that would have received this same award, except they passed last year. That would be Robert Allen and Ted Yankowski. They were also at the Normandy beaches on D-Day. Robert Allen was shot in the shoulder. Was shot in the shoulder, and Ted Yankowski was next to his corporal when a bullet exploded, a round exploded next to him, killing the corporal. And Ted also had some injuries, but Ted was able to continue. And we received a really nice letter from the French ambassador to Canada on Robert Allen's passing, and I'd like to read it to you now. It's dated November the 20th, 2020, and it is with deep regret that we have learned that Mr. Robert Bernard Allen, a veteran of the World War, is deceased. Allow me to send our sincere condolences. You have submitted a request for the rank of Knight in the National Order of the Legion of Honor for Robert. Unfortunately, in accordance with the Code of the Legion of Honor, only living recipients at the time of the publication of the nomination decree can be awarded this distinction. Know that France remembers the sacrifice of all Canadians who came to liberate French soil, and will remember Mr. Allen's personal commitment in the liberation of our country. I beg you, sir, to agree the assurance of my distinguished consideration, signed by Karen Rispal, French Ambassador to Canada. And I got to thank Veronica Laidlaw for translating this. Otherwise, we weren't sure what it said, but that was wonderful. Okay, now we got one other veteran here I want to talk about, Jack Whitcomb. Jack, you are amazing. Jack turned 100 on May the 2nd this year, and you know where they found him? Out on the golf course. And did he ever hit a nice shot? I saw it on Facebook. And 7 of our local flyers got in their planes and buzzed him at the golf course. And Jack was quite impressed, so much so he actually threw the clubs in the trunk of the car and went out to the airport to meet the flyers there and thank them personally. And then that afternoon we had, I think, 40 cars that paraded past Jack's house just to say thank you and happy birthday to Jack. I need to also say Jack was a pilot. He piloted Lancaster bombers, and he was in the theater, but not at that location at that particular time. Anyway, Jack, you are amazing. I can't imagine at 100 swinging a golf club, but you did great. Okay, I'd like to call on our District 2 Commander, Joan Wright, for a few comments.
Thanks, Honoraire. Bruno, invited guests, and special guest, Lloyd. I was just asked by Earl Smith to say a couple words, and it really is a treat to be here today to see this presentation. I've been to several of them, but each one means that much more because we're still losing so many of our veterans, and unfortunately, this presentation is going to disappear. But I also have a presentation to make. We have a special copy that was created. It's the 100th anniversary copy, or when it was designed 100 years ago. We were given, as members of the Provincial Council, we're given an honorary one to have to wear, which we can wear in the uniforms until the end of this year. However, I didn't feel that we were the only ones entitled. Jack has his. I sent to him for his birthday. Everybody in my area that had a 100th birthday this year received theirs, but I just happened to keep a couple special, because I thought there might be some other people. So I'm going to look now to present Mr. Lloyd. I shouldn't say that. He's now Sir Lloyd with his pin. Bruno, thanks ever so much for the wonderful work you've done.
Okay, I'd like to call on Her Worship the Mayor of Russell Binscarth, Rural Municipality, Cheryl Kingdom Chartier.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a humbling experience to stand here today and be a small part of this presentation. Our municipality and our country owe a huge debt of gratitude to all our veterans who have sacrificed so much to give us the life we have. Today, however, is the day to recognize Mr. Lloyd Tibbatts. It is with honor that I stand here as Mr. Tibbatts receives his National Order of the Legion of Honor, the highest decoration given by the country of France. Mr. Tibbatts is receiving his award for his involvement in the landings at Normandy, France on June 6, 1944. Surely a date that is etched in all our memories. On behalf of the municipality of Russell Minskar, congratulations, Lloyd, and thank you for all you have done.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Okay, now I'm going to call on David Clausen to give us some comments from our Member of Parliament, Dan Mazer.
Hello, I'm David Clausen. It's really a privilege to, one, be here, and secondly, to speak on behalf of Mr. Dan Mazer, Member of Parliament, Government of Canada. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry I can't be here with you to celebrate this extraordinary occasion in person. Thank you for inviting me to deliver these important remarks to honor the service of your comrade Lloyd Tibbatts. I want to congratulate Lloyd on being awarded the French National Order of the Legion of Honor today. His achievement was a testament to your service and bravery during the D-Day landings in Normandy in 1944. I hear many stories about the brave men that landed on the beaches that day, and I thank you for being one of the proud Canadians there to uphold liberty and equality. Since your honorable discharge, I understand that you continued your service to Canadians as a farmer. Some might say that being a farmer is another brave choice of vocation. I think it's fair to say that we do it for the love of watching something grow on the land that we value so highly. In recognition of your contributions to our country and your community over the years, you thoroughly deserve this recognition today. The freedom, justice, and peace we enjoy today are attributed to the service and sacrifice of great veterans like you. On behalf of the people of Dauphin, Swan River, and Iqaluit, and all Canadians who enjoy the freedom we fought for, I would like to thank you for your service, commend you for your courage, and honor the sacrifices you've made for our country. And I'd like to bring some context here as well. Mark Moffat, who's filming today, and myself work at the firm, and we're honored to be part of videotaping this ceremony, this event, to be part of it, to really to take a moment to remember what we have no idea others experienced, to take time to say thank you for things that we so take for granted. And as you, Bruno, shared your emotion with us, I also felt that same emotion. So thank you. And Mark and I work together. Mark Moffat is actually Lloyd's great nephew, his grandson of of Lloyd's brother Tommy. So thank you for allowing us to be here.
Thank you, David. And now I'd like to call on our Manitoba Member of the Legislature Assembly, Rick Wolchuk.
Thank you so much, and welcome to all the honored guests and family here today. I'm truly honored and privileged to bring a few words. As your member of the Manitoba Legislative Assembly, I would like to congratulate Mr. Tibbatts on this very special day and this very special occasion. You are today and will always be a hero in the eyes of all. It's veterans such as yourself that ensured the success of the Allied forces in World War II. Again, congratulations and thank you, sir, for your service to our country. And on behalf of the government of Manitoba, I'd also like to present you with the certificate and this prestigious honor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bochuk. Okay, I have some people I've got to thank. I'm just going to move this up a bit here. And it starts with Earl and Jan Smith. Earl, you did all of this. You did all the research. You investigated the award, and you helped the veterans submit these applications. And you have been an RCMP officer in our community. You've driven the handy van. You've been a town councilor. You've helped our veterans. I know you take the hearing aids back and forth and things like that. You're active in your church, and you are a life member of the Legion. Thank you for all your service. And Jan is right there beside him. Jan made up the cards for today, those centerpieces. She put them together. She was here before I got here this morning at 8:30 putting these tables together, and she's always involved. Jan, thank you for your service. Sir Lloyd Tibbatts. That sounds really nice. Thank you for being a soldier, being a veteran, and just being a really nice guy. And we so appreciate you, and we're so happy that the French government has given you this tremendous award. And thank you, Jean Chapman. Thank you for helping with all of Lloyd's personal matters, and for being here with him today. Much and enjoyed your speech. Thank you. Nick Bevington, you have been a godsend. You have helped us put this together, and we really appreciate all the help, and even the fact you drove from Happy Rock, Gladstone, Manitoba today. Thank you for helping us. And to our French consul, Sir Bruno Burnichon, you are amazing. You have done all of these presentations in our province. You have been an international goodwill between our countries, and really appreciate you and your wife Karen for coming here today and bestowing this honor on our veteran. Thank you very, very much. And to Jack Whitcomb and to all the veterans that are here. I would try to name you all, but I'm going to forget somebody. But I really appreciate all your service to Canadians and to the Legion. And thank you to our wonderful Mayor, Cheryl Kingdom Chartier, and her team of councillors and employees. You guys do a great job of making Russell Binsgarth Municipality a great place to live. Thank you. And I see sitting in the corner, James Felder, our CAO. Stand up, James. Thank you. And next to him is Thomas McLeod. Thomas, would you stand up? He's our Economic Development Officer. And these guys have been a tremendous help to the Legion and a tremendous help to this community. In particular, Thomas is helping put together a grant this spring to restore a number of our cenotaphs and memorials. And you did a great job, and David Clausen and his crew did a great job of doing the work. So excellent. Thank you for all your help. Thank you, Rick Bochuk. Swan River is a long ways away, and we really appreciate you being here, and we appreciated your comments too. Thank you. Chaplain Chris Pilon, you are always there for us. Thank you for your wonderful prayer to start off this ceremony today, and thank you for always assisting us in the Legion whenever we need you. Sure appreciate it. And Andrea Gleason is here from our Russell and District Care Home. Andrea, stand up. You can stand up. Yes, you can. You're amazing. You and all the staff there at the care home, I know because my mother was there for 7 years, and you guys just took wonderful care of her. And we appreciate all the care you've given to all of our seniors, and especially to our veterans that have been there. Thank you. Okay, thank you to our media that came here today. We really appreciate you, and we're very pleased when you spread the word that we do not forget our veterans, and this is a really good example where we do not forget our veterans. So thank you for doing that. Special thanks to Jack Dawes, my friend from Yorkton, for Kevin Weedmark from Moosomin, and for Gary Wellwood from Russell. Thank you all. Okay, I'm almost done. Thank you for our RCMP members coming to our rescue here today. You almost had Earl Smith in his uniform if you couldn't have made it. So I'm glad that you were able to make it. Thanks so much. And it is indeed special that the Regina Rifles made an attendance here today. Long drive from Regina, and of course that was Lloyd's, one of his regiments that he belonged to overseas. So thank you for being here. Joan Wright, we want to thank you for all the help you give our branches, and especially this branch in Russell. Thank you. And David Clausen, I already mentioned you a bit, but thank you for all you do to support the Legion and to support veterans, and for all the help you gave us with the Cenotaphs. We're really happy with the work that got done there. Thank you. And now I'm getting down to, I got Virginia Beelard here. Virginia is our branch secretary and treasurer. And she has a full-time job keeping Earl and I straight on what we need to do, keeping us organized. And another thing about her is that Virginia's parents, both of them, Albert and Gwen Beelard, were both veterans. Were both in active service overseas, and were veterans of World War II. And so we thank you so much, Virginia. And Kevin and Charlene McCarthy of Chicken Chef have really been wonderful, and I think I'm holding them up here now. But thank you guys. They're behind closed doors right now, but they've been really good to us whenever we needed to call on them. Okay, this pretty much concludes our ceremony. Sorry, I got someone, I'm not sure what I got on my mind. I got Earl Smith on my mind. Earl wants to say a few more words.
Thank you, Al, for all those comments. Some are good, some are bad to think about. Anyway, I'm going to give you a little bit of a break, probably 10 minutes to stand up, walk around a little bit, and go where you have to go. And look at the cake. The certificate that Lloyd got is over on the cake table. There's some pictures and photos that have been taken. His discharge papers from the military back in 45, 46 is there as well, a copy of it. And the book that you see there is the memory book, and he's in volume 3, page 215, and if anybody wants to see a picture and a bit of his write-up, it's there as well. I have 5 books. If somebody wants a copy of the book, please take them. They're extra, so we can give them I would prefer probably the family, the nieces that are over at this table, and they come from a long distance, Oak Bank, Winnipeg and Portage, right? Beausejour, sorry, okay, I almost had them all right. And I'd like to stretch your legs, take a picture. The cake will be removed. We were going to get Lloyd to make a cut in the first cake, but I think we forgot to put the knife out. I don't see it over there, so what we'll do is just take the cake, everybody saw it, and we'll cut it up and have it as a dessert. When you come back, you'll have your meal, and then we'll have the cake ready to cook. Oh, you've got a knife for it. I was going to bring your saber there, but I was scared that they might cut the cake in 4 or 5 pieces and shatter it. But anyway, okay, thank everybody for coming, and we'll socialize a little bit while we're waiting for the staff, and some of the Legion members will help out with the serving. And it's a sit-down serving. Your plate will be served to you, and your dessert will be served to you as well. So that's the way it's meet with the COVID, and we try to get as close as we can. We're only allowed 50 people to come, and it was hard to decide which 50 were to come, but we made it right to the last night. I think we got the last person here to make the 50, but some people still couldn't make it today with the weather. Okay, thank you very much. And Bruno, Goshan? I always have trouble with the last one. But anyway, thanks for coming, and your wife, Karen. And they said I couldn't remember all the names at the table, but I rhymed them all off. That was probably the first time I ever got all the names right. Anyway, thank you very much for coming.
Okay, so Earl just brought up a very good point. We have Lloyd's nieces here. Would any of you like to say a few words? Sure. Come on up here then. Please.
Hello. My name is Lorraine Surratt. My sisters are Kathy and Dennis. Roy is her husband. My younger sister is Patricia with her husband here, Billy. Pat and I were here last month to visit Lloyd. We try and get up to visit as much as possible. He's always been a kind soul. When we were growing up, before Uncle Lloyd married Frances, who we loved dearly too, he would come to our home in Windsor Park every Christmas. And he always came with a box of chocolates and a plant for my mother. Sorry? There, can you hear me better? We always remembered him as a very kind person, and he was always happy. We were always happy to see him. Yeah. So we're very happy that you're honoring him here today. We think it's an amazing accomplishment and such a sacrifice that he's given. We know that his dad had already passed away when he went, and so there was just the 3 of them left on the farm, and I think it was a hard decision for him to make, but there was a younger brother at home, and so we're glad that he came home as much as he is glad that he's made it home also. Anyway, thank you everyone, and thank you, Uncle Lloyd, for your service.
Thank you very much for that. Wonderful. Nice to hear from the family and the good times back home. Okay, so we're ready to close now with God Save the Queen. And so would you please stand? And you don't have to sing it, it's fine, but we'll all stand for it. No, you guys can sit. You can sit. Lloyd?
I vow to thee, my country, all earthly things above, entire and whole and perfect, the service of my love. The love that asks no question, the love that stands the test, that lays upon the altar the dearest